Now this is what you do when you start down. You're about right here.
Yeah.
So from there, you stay there if you can. You've got to get the shaft from that angle to this angle in about 0.2 of a second.
Right.
So the easiest way to do that is if you start standing up, stand up, see how that shallows the shaft angle.
Yep.
So when you practice, you want to feel like you have the club about over 2 in the takeaway, over 4 at the top, and over 3 when you come down.
Okay.
You go 4, 4. So all these clubs on the ground, right, are just to get the club on plane. Like, see how that's just working up? Dude, that's so good. Do that again. It's just going up and down that plane, right? Right there where his club is. Up the plane, down the plane. What you need to do is see where you are relative to the swing plane and find out, like, what do I need to feel to get on plane? On plane is always the answer. On plane, yeah. On plane is the answer to more consistency. That last one was great, dude. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Yeah, good. Excellent.
The biggest thing I've been chasing is consistency. So I've gotten myself, for the first time, finally into the single-digit handicap.
Love it.
So super excited about that. But, you know, I'm an 8 now, and I can still go out there sometimes and shoot 90 one day, 79 the next, right? And it's just like, where I'm just chasing is this consistency and what I can do with repeatability in my swing. So that's been my biggest area. And like I said, with ShotScope, I've been tracking my stats for 5 years now, and just, I'm seeing the improvement, but I just feel like I have these setbacks that I want to get over. And my ultimate goal is to get to a 5. So I'm at an 8 now, and I want to get to a 5.
In terms of contact, we've got like, what do you got, an 8 iron?
I got an 8 iron here, yeah.
So when you don't hit it perfectly solid, more fat or thin?
So I can kind of miss both ways. Yeah. One of my biggest misses is I tend to hook the ball.
Perfect.
So and I've been kind of protecting against that, aiming further right, and
sure.
You know what happens? I just hook it worse.
Sure.
So it's again, it's just, where's that consistency? And I know I'm missing something. Not being a coach myself, I'm like, I try to look at my videos, but I'm like, there's some key component I'm missing.
Yeah, totally. And for those of you watching who are looking for consistency too, obviously there's practice and things like that, but there are always mechanical explanations. And when I say always, I mean always.
Yeah.
Like there will be something we'll see in your swing that will lead to the inconsistency. Always, right? Okay. So we got to just find what that is, and then we'll kind of work through it. If I took my setup with an 8 iron and I drew a line up this club, like let's imagine we had a line like this. It's like a swing plane, right?
Yep.
Simply put, the closer the club shaft is to on that plane line at all points throughout the swing, the better you hit, the more consistent it is. The farther off that plane line, under it, outside of it, under, flat across like you get, the more inconsistent, the worse you hit.
Okay.
So when we watch your swing, we'll put this on the screen, if we draw that plane line up your shaft, and I'll show you this on my phone in a minute, your club goes under plane early, so inside, which makes it flat, means the butt of the club points outside the ball line, which makes it across at the top, which makes it steep early, stay with me, which then makes you shallow late, which is why you're too far shallowing from inside. So from like hip high, if we didn't see anything else, and you just saw, hey, your club's working into the ball from too low and inside.
Yeah.
So I could change your ball flight in like a swing and it would look cool for like Instagram, but you would go play and you'd kind of fall back in the same habits because your root stuff that's happening earlier is messing you up.
Gotcha.
Because you go under early and flat, you always get across. And because you get across, you're steep early. And because you're steep early, you have to early extend to shallow late. So the late shallow is why you get the contact issues in the hooks, period. But like, why do you get the late shallows? Because of the swing plane stuff. What we're looking for is just go up and down one line. Yeah. Right? But because you're under, flat, across, steep, under, it's gonna have to feel like you're probably out with the club early, Sergio Garcia at the top, and then like back on top when you come down. So I've got a little like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock drill that I can show you.
Okay.
We'd like to thank our partners at ShotScope for sponsoring today's video. You know that I always preach what? Feedback, feedback, feedback. You need feedback to improve your swing. Well, guess what? When you go out onto the golf course, you need that same exact feedback. ShotScope are leaders in GPS, shot tracking, and rangefinder technology. You got to look at some data and figure out where you're actually going off to build a solid plan to improve. Another thing that I love about ShotScope is they have options for everyone. Whether you just want GPS distances on the course, a great value but high performing rangefinder, or want to dive into your data, ShotScope has a product for everyone. With the purchase of a performance tracking device, golfers gain free access to the ShotScope mobile app and web dashboard containing over 100 tour level statistics. Whether you want just the distance to the hole or you like all the stats that they have on there, ShotScope literally has something for everyone. So take your setup position and let's go up to the top where you normally do the bad, like across the line. Now this is what you do when you start down. You're about right here.
Yeah.
So from there, stay there if you can. You've got to get the shaft from that angle to this angle in about 0.2 of a second.
Right.
So the easiest way to do that is if you start stand up, see how that shallows the shaft angle.
Yep.
So the reason you stand up that I'm seeing here right now is because you're here and you've got to then stand up to shallow
Stand up to get it there.
So if we were here already with the shaft, now you don't have to stand up to shallow. You're already on the plane line. Then you can just do your normal turning through. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to automatically stop standing up, because habitually you've probably done it a lot.
Yeah.
What it does is it gives you an opportunity to fix it. Because now when the club's coming in the right spot, your brain's got no motivation to still stand up. It's already shallow. Now you can do you're gonna still need to learn, we'll talk about how to get through the ball.
Yeah.
But now you have an opportunity to do so. So I think a simple way to start, if this is my setup and I put a club down my toe line, let's say the ball's 12. So 1, 2, that makes that 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That would make this about 2 o'clock right here. And that would make this like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right? So when you practice, you want to feel like you have the club about over 2 in the takeaway, over 4 at the top, and over 3 when you come down.
Okay.
You go 4, 4. You with me?
Yes.
So let me guide you through how this works here. So the first move for you, now we want to have the club head go out, but not your hands. So your hands are going to track back to my fist. Bingo. So you've done this before, like with Ledbetter.
Yep.
Right? Now, you don't have to change this part to get it, but it'd be easier if we do. So let's go down this road first.
Okay.
We could have the club here and I could just get you over here like John Rahm, and we could also go that route, but let's try and improve the whole system.
Okay.
So you're gonna go from here over 2 o'clock. You're gonna feel like the club head's outside to you. Probably, you wanna do it to the point where the club head is about even with your hands in terms of height.
Okay.
So this would be like too low.
Yep.
It's about right there. Now here's the trick of this, okay?
Yep.
From this position, and this is gonna look great on camera, you're gonna wanna get the club feeling like it's about out over 4 o'clock, which for you is gonna feel like this right wrist is really bent, and the club is just unbelievably laid off.
Yeah.
Like, holy sh**.
I feel so much of the weight of the club head here.
It feels really gross and behind you. And then when you come down, you've gotta get the club back between 3 and 2.
Got it.
Not here.
Yep.
You with me?
Yes.
So let's run through that about 50 times. Good. This to me is non-negotiable for you to cut your handicap in half. This is the hardest it's gonna be right now. Let's do it again. This is the worst part of it. Good. Good. Good.
And I'm so used to my hands being so far inside. This feels like my hands are so far out towards the ball.
Yeah, it's gonna feel like your hands are out. It's gonna feel like the club is out. It's gonna feel like you're really rotating the wheel like clockwise from takeaway to the top. Very, very laid off. And I'm gonna show you on camera, you'll be like, oh my God, it's going up and down one line. But it's gonna feel like you're doing a big loop. Good. Because when you pose positions, right, you've gotta exaggerate. Like right now, for you to get your takeaway from where it is to down your toe line at real speed, it has to feel like it's like a mile outside your hands, a literal mile for it to change an inch or two. So when we pose, I don't like to pose perfect. I like to pose exaggerated.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is too far. Good, let's do that. Because when you start to go at speed, it'll...
I mean, I've even seen the tour players doing that where they exaggerate. Even Tiger, I've seen do that. Exaggerate the heck out of it on the range before they do it.
And that's the value of using camera. So you can see, oh my God, I felt a mile, I moved an inch. And you just have to accept that in the beginning. Because that same feel of a mile in a week will be 2 inches. and then 3 inches, right? It'll do more. Let's do a
And
couple.
just so I know, is it going to be the same path with all my clubs? I'm seeing,
Oh, yeah.
even driver, I'm thinking, because I do hit driver fairly well usually.
Yeah.
But that's good. It's slightly more, I have more room to hit up. I can come from the inside a little bit better.
That's it. When the ball's teed up,
Yeah.
that's the only club that's great for your pattern.
Yeah.
Because you can swing from
And I
inside.
tee
it
it
works.
high.
Totally. Because you're so shallow.
Right.
So like that'd be the club where you would need to do this the least. Having said that, you're also not Rory McIlroy off the tee.
Right.
So like I would say it like the inconsistencies off the tee that you get, you would still fix via this.
Got it.
But you can get away with it the most. You know
Right.
what I
But
mean?
I'm still, that's my ceiling is how good I can get.
There's no doubt.
I got to make the change.
There's no
I got
doubt.
it.
Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's too far inside. So a little more this way. The club out, like the club a little more out.
Got it.
Yeah. It's gonna feel bizarre because you're used to here.
Yes.
Yeah. And in reality, you want it like down 3 o'clock would be fine, but you might need to feel like it's out here a little bit more. You've just overdone some like pretty good things. Uh-huh. So like when I watch you pose that, and you can see this on camera, and I'll show you on video, that's basically going up and down one line. Even though it feels like...
Feels like a big loop to me.
Totally. So like you want to pause to learn, but then you got to take the pause out to hit.
Yeah.
So what I would be doing is I would go like rehearse, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rehearse those feels, and then I want to slowly start to take the pauses out and feel one fluid motion, but still feel like I'm going very slow. Retraining my swing plane, very slow. So I'm still like going through the motion with no pause.
Yeah.
And once I can feel that, I'm going to start to do that and clip the mat. 2, 4, 3 with a clip. 2, 4, 3 with a clip. And then I'm going to hit my first ball at this sort of pace, feeling the same thing, like 10% speed. 2, 4, 3. So it's a full swing that goes 60, right, with an 8-iron. And then I would look on video and say, did I do it or not? And then make adjustments accordingly. Now again, this is like day one of you like walking into like a French class, like learn how to speak in Irish. This is the hardest it's ever gonna be. This will get easier and easier and easier. But there's also not a step 2.
That's good.
Like the body motions through the ball that we'll talk about is the only additional thing, but it's not like there's gonna be more.
Got it.
It's like this is the workout plan and diet plan.
I like a good plan.
Yeah, just hammer the same things. So let's do 1 with a pause, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep. That's it. Good. Do 1 very slow with no pauses. Good. Do 1 where you do real slow, no pauses with a clip of the mat. Good, again. It's got to feel very mechanical and forced right now. None of this is like turn your arms off, natural, easy stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
That's for a different video. This is very forced, lots of thought. That's okay. 2, 4. Excellent. Again. Yes, 1 more. I mean, you're about to see a world-class before and after in a minute, but I have to add 1 layer here.
Okay.
So if 3 clubs aren't enough on the ground, you add a 4th, okay?
Good thing we got 14.
We got lots of clubs here. So this is all, this little sort of, this is like zones you want to live in. You want to live in this zone in the takeaway, kind of back there on the way down. Most golfers, I need to get more inside on the way down, not you. But there's also a follow-through zone. So you're still swinging too far to the right through the ball. And anytime you swing to the right, when the speed of the club goes this way, the club face is always going to over-rotate.
Yeah.
Golfers who slice, right? So like maybe, I don't know, maybe Mike back in the day, would swing left and the face would stay open.
Yep.
Swing right and the face closes, just like the speed and momentum of the club.
Yeah.
So kind of like we already talked about on the way through, it's like when you come down, if this is your sort of clock system here, you've got to at least get the club left of your heel line. It's almost got to feel like it's like over here. So let's take your setup one more time. So let's do your 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Good, good, come down. So like from this spot here, you've got to turn the corner. over this way. And it's got to feel the same way where you're like, whoa, that feels left.
Yeah.
That feels low and left because you're up here.
Right.
Which a lot of golfers need more of that. The better the golfer, usually the more you swing too far right. Me included. You have to feel like you go more this way.
So we're exaggerating here too, this way.
And this is all still on keep the club on plane.
Yeah.
You need to feel all these things so that when I record it, it just looks like it goes up, down, and through on the same plane. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It just requires a couple of these motions.
Okay.
So it's got to feel like it goes more around on the way through. Let's do that. This is one where it's like a little sexy, less sexy second to second, but like your before and afters in your golf game next year is going to be dramatically better. So it's like got to be a little more kind of boring and slow.
That's my motivation.
Dramatically better. So 2 o'clock, yep, up to 4, back down, and around. That is, couldn't do it any better. So I'm going to pop a ball in there after you do one more practice swing.
Okay.
When I hit the first ball, it went 60 yards.
Yeah.
I'm still making a full swing, but it's going to go very slow. So make a swing as if the ball was there, and we're going to do a 60-yarder. Awesome. And I'm going to record this from down the line so you can see how much you have to exaggerate each of these. So do the best you can with the same deal. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, round and left.
Okay.
Hit about 60 yards. Doesn't matter how you hit it, it's just to get started. Just rep number 1. Awesome. Now watch this swing here. So watch your takeaway. That looks a little better.
Yeah, more on plane.
That looks a little better.
Yeah.
So now you're on the way back. The club's inside the ball line, not outside.
Yeah.
There's your top of back swing.
There you go.
Dramatically different.
Absolutely.
Now you're shallow early, right? Not steep.
Yep.
Now from here, we still got to learn how to turn the corner. So there's a toe ball.
Right.
Which in real swings almost never happens on a shank. That's just because your brain doesn't know what to do.
Right.
And there's your re-exit with the club under the shoulder.
Yeah. Position at top looked great.
So that's ball 1,
Yeah.
right? Let's do the same thing, practice swing first. Awesome, one more practice swing. Oh, dude. Oh,
We're
man.
gonna get this.
Oh, dude, you are gonna play golf you've never played before. Your swinging games will be so much better. It might be 17 swings, it might be 4, it might be like, we'll see how long it takes.
Yeah.
That is so much better, dude. So much better. We'll get the hit in a moment or two. Same feels. Remember, only real slow here.
No, I don't feel like I took it away right.
2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
beautiful. So you can see here with Frank, obviously he's got a better player problem where he goes too far inside out. Yeah, it's got to go more left on the way through. So all these clubs in the ground, right, are just to get the club on plane. Like, see how that's just working up? Dude, that's so good. Do that again. It's just going up and down that plane, right? Right there where his club is. Up the plane, down the plane. What you need to do is see where you are relative to the swing plane and find out, like, what do I need to feel to get on plane? On plane is always the answer. On plane, yeah. On plane is the answer to more consistency. You might be under plane and you have to feel more over. You might be over plane and have to feel more under, but you're always seeking on plane. Let's do another one with the ball.
Just slow, right?
Just slow, yep. That last one was great, dude. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Yeah, good. Excellent. So like this would be like a swing plane drill that I would do. So basically you want to put an object between your feet and the shaft so that you can't come too far from inside.
Okay.
Water bottle, range bucket, plane drill, anything like that. So when you make your swing real slow, and then slowly from there start to come down. Whoa, yeah, that should feel in your way.
Yeah. And I still feel so far outside the ball compared to what I'm used to.
I know, because you're usually...
I was here.
Yeah.
I would have smacked this thing into the parking lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You come down, your chest and shoulders are a little closed, the arms are a little too far from inside. But just let me hop in there and you stand back there so you can see where that is. So like when you take a setup, you want to have this here. So see how like the angle of the shaft is like just under that.
Yes.
So I can't come from inside. And I can even move it back a little bit more. But the goal would be, can I do the motion and keep the club like on the outside part of that bottle? And the more you're able to do that, the more the ball wants to cut. And Now you need cut because you have too much hook,
Yeah.
right? So other golfers might flip this a little bit, but you need to have that there. Let me just do 1 or 2 with that so you can feel that. So you might just add a little station like this into your practice. So like obviously Frank's got an issue with the swing being too far from inside. So we've got the water bottle just for a plane station, go slow. So like most golfers who swing too far over the top, you would put something outside the ball that you've got to swing inside of, right? Just something to give you feels in terms of where the club shaft is at. So any hits for you with this plane station in, I would kind of work your way up like weight on a bar, like do this to warm up, little half ones, then you can start to lengthen a little longer, but this is a good place to, there you go. So that'll crisp up the contact and reduce hooking.
Could hear it.
Yeah. And this is sand wedge, 5-iron, 3-wood driver. Like Tommy Fleetwood you see on the range with that little plane station in.
Yes.
This is kind of the same idea there. Good player problem. You guys have seen the water bottle drill before. Yeah. See how solid that is?
Yeah.
And that's all, you know, we could have started the lesson with that to just quick fix it. But if you don't fix the earlier things, as soon as I take that away, it'll be hard for you to come back to it. But if you get the club on plane and combine it with that, we're golden.
Yeah.
So 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, pausing, taking out the pausing and hitting, 20-ish reps, 2 to 3 times a week for the next like 90 days.
Okay.
Would be really cool. And then we can put some, how do you keep your inclination to the ground on the way through and swing around your body?
Got the prescription. I like it.
Cool. So it's a bunch of stuff, but it's like all within keep the club on plane.
Yeah.
The game's easier.
Yeah.